Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. Just wanted to bring you guys an update on you guys and gals, an update on the primer test, the final results for the primer test. I was able to get out to the range, let's see, a few days ago. It was this past Sunday. We had some pretty awesome weather here in North Alabama, and I don't know about everybody else, but we had some pretty amazing weather. It was probably 65 and barely a cloud in the sky, so it was hard to beat that day. I went hunting that morning and then ran over to a buddy's house, and was able to do a lot of shooting over there. That way I have the chronograph set up. I'm not worried about the shooting range and a ton of people being there and me trying to go down and mark groups and pay attention to all that fun stuff, and constantly going back and forth and dealing with people going hot, going cold on the range and all that. So went to a buddy's house to get all this shooting done. I ended up shooting somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 rounds through I had four different Ruger American bolt action rifles, and between all four of them I shot somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 or 250 rounds. So a lot of shooting through bolt action. Made for a long day. I think I ended up shooting right at like 4 hours or something like that. So it was a pretty long day. There's the cat. What's up, cat? My daughter calls her Miss Blue Eyes. She calls her the color changing cat because when we got her she was solid white, and then as she's aged she's gotten a little gray. So my daughter calls her the color changing cat. Pretty cool. But so we shot 3 10-shot groups. So I just want to kind of circle back to what in the heck we're even trying to discuss and talk about. We did 3 10-shot groups. And of course we started this whole ordeal with the primer test way back when. I think we started out with like 8 different primers, 8 different small rifle primers. Go back to the first, I don't even know what video number this is now, maybe 5, somewhere in that range, 4 or 5. So go back to the first one, watch the other ones, check them out. It'll walk you through what in the heck we're trying to accomplish. And so actually the results were pretty surprising. I mean, I'm kind of surprised for what I saw consistently throughout the different rounds of testing. So yeah, so here we go. Here's the final, and this target is kind of busy just because I did a whole lot of shooting. So basically pretty much what we're looking at, let's see, there we go. Pretty much what we're looking at, that's a 5-shot group that I use just to kind of sight everything in, make sure, hey, we're good to go. And then these next 3, so that's the bottom of the first 10-shot group. So we had a couple flyers on that one. It was those 2, and then the other 8 are kind of stacked in there pretty tight. That's the 69. So we're shooting the 69 grains Barnes match burner, and that is 21.5 grains of benchmark. That's the load for all 3 of these groups. And this one was using the Federal Gold Medal match small rifle primers. So I'll tell you what the data was on all that fun stuff. So for that one, the average velocity for the Federal Gold Medal match was 2418. Standard deviation 33.2. Let's see, with a max spread on the old velocity there of 83. So not too bad. And that's basically, I mean, of course standard deviation is pretty terrible, but that's Going back here, I mean that's in line with the other 2 rounds, other 3 rounds, I think it is by now. Like here, a previous one was standard deviation of 35 on another group, and then standard deviation of 45 on the first one. So, I mean, that's pretty much expected out of the federal gold medal match. Now, the next one, this group, that one measured the tightest. Oh, so that group, the 10-shot group, measured 1.823 inches. This was the tightest 10-shot group out of the 3. It measured 1.223. That's all 10 shots right there. That's from a 308, so that's something else. But those are my 10 right there. They did pretty well. And again, tightest group out of the bunch. That just so happened to be the Federal Small Rifle number 205s. And so I'll tell you what, average velocity on that one was 2411, standard deviation of 19, extreme spread of 72. So better standard deviation numbers there. And again, if we go back over this whole process, we had a standard deviation with federal small rifle primers. We had standard deviation of 25 on the first round, 21 on the second round, and then, you know, a little bit better, 19 on this round. So and then the third and final group would be this bad boy right here. So there's all 10 shots. That's with the CCI 400s. Yeah, CCI 400s. That group measured 1.416 inches. Not too bad there, but let's see. Yeah, 1.416. So that was that group. And standard deviation on those bad boys, it was 25.4 with an average velocity of 2452. So about 35 to 40 feet per second faster than the Federals. That was what we had on the velocity with the CCIs. Extreme spread of 94. And then if we go back, kind of look historically, so we go back to the first 2 rounds, standard deviation of 44, has extreme spread of 84 on one, for instance. And then the other one, using the CCI 400, standard deviation of 26, extreme spread of 64. So these 3 primers, the 400s, the CCI 400s, the Federal Gold Medal Match, and the Federal Small Rifle primers, those 3 through these 3 rounds performed the best. They performed the best through the first 2 rounds. So that's why we continued to test with them. And I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you, I was really hoping to see better results out of the Federal Gold Medal Match. Yeah, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. I mean, according to the data and everything, you know, data doesn't lie, or at least for the most part. Depends on, you know, garbage in, garbage out, but still, through 3 different rounds, you know, not once has it had the tightest group, the best standard deviation number. I mean, it hasn't. I mean, it's been beaten every single round. Through 3 different rounds, it has been beaten by the Federal Small Rifle number 205. So, I mean, I think that pretty much tells me all, you know, I kind of need to know at this point. So, here's what we're talking about. So, these, I bought a brick of those way back when, because I couldn't find them forever. Finally found a brick, so I bought 1,000 of them. That's why I was hoping and praying these would perform. I thought these would just, you know, kind of walk away with the performance. And it didn't happen, because those did. So there you go. The Federal 205. I was kind of surprised. I was very, very much surprised at what we saw, or what we found in the data. With the group sizes, consistently, they were pretty good. They were the smallest with the federal 205s. That they didn't have the best it didn't have the best standard deviation number, but out of the ones that grouped the tightest, it had the best performance, through the 3 rounds. So, kind of hard to deny that. So it looks like I'll be buying some more federal 205s. So there we go. But that's it. That's the update on the primer test. I think we're gonna put a bow on that one and call it done. Yeah, I don't really see any need to do any further testing on that. The 21.5 grains of benchmark. Yeah, that's on the low end. That might even be the minimum starting charge according to Hodgdon for the 69 grain bullet, but it performs really well, shoots really well. It'll kill a deer, so it'll kill coyote, whatever, kill a hog. So that's all I care about. You shoot something and it's traveling 2,400 feet per second, whatever you shoot, it's probably going to know you shot it. So so I think we're just going to kind of put that one to bed and we'll be done. So there we go. If any of y'all out there have done a primer test and you have found similar results, as in you went in sort of with this preconceived notion, hey, I think XYZ is going to perform a certain way, and it didn't happen, I'd love to hear about it, because I was thoroughly surprised at this test. So very exciting though. I mean, it was cool going through it, but may try to do it again with the 308 or something along those lines that I load for. Might try to do a different primer test over in that. So, but that's it. Just wanted to bring you guys the last video on the primer test results. So if you have any questions or want to leave a comment about it, feel free to do so. But otherwise, hope y'all have a good one.